Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful rainy Victoria today here in Western Canada. We have some much welcomed rain. We've had many sunny and dry days, so the plants are loving it. I hope everybody is having a good start to the weekend, or I hope your weekend is going well. Hi Fong, Constellation, Lydia, Chayani, Angel. Nice to see many of you. Oana, nice to see all of you in the class. This is a members chat class, everybody. Of course, everyone is welcome to watch. In this class, we are looking at IELTS speaking part 2. Going to talk about a place that you would like to visit. So turn on those thinking caps and start thinking about all of the places that you would like to see in the world. Start getting some ideas for this part 2 cue card. Let's take a look at this cue card to see what we will cover here. So here we go. It's IELTS speaking again, and make sure to speak and repeat. So copy what I say, copy how I say it. I speak with a West Coast accent, West Coast North American accent. Some people say Canadian, but it's not that accurate to say Canadian or American accent. Certain parts of Canada, people sound a lot more similar to certain parts of the US than other parts of Canada, and same in the US. So people in Washington, Oregon will sound a lot more similar to people in BC, British Columbia, even Yukon, Alaska, than they will to people in, say, Texas or even in Florida. All right. So anyway, great accent, clear, crisp, easy to understand. Hopefully it's easy to understand for you as well. And here's the cue card. So this part of the IELTS speaking, part 2, comes about 5-6 minutes after part 1. And the examiner will say that is the end of part 1. We will now continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you some questions. You will have 1 minute to read these. Think about your answers. You can take notes in the 1 minute preparation time if you wish. You have some note paper there and your pencil. And then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. Is that clear? Do you understand? They check with you and then you say, yes, it's clear. They show you the question and then they say, talk about a place you would like to visit. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. And then your very first step is to read the card. And so you read the card, and on the card it says what the place is, who you would go there with and why, what happens in this place, why is this place of special interest for you. Okay, so think about those questions. In the meantime, I will introduce a little bit about us and who we are and what we do, and then we will get into it. So this lesson, of course, and these lessons are always powered through our websites. Our websites are aehelp.com for academic IELTS. That's where you want to go. We will use that website today to speak with our members and our students in the next class, which will be a speaking part 3 class connected to this topic. Okay, so speaking part 3, as many of you know, is connected to the topic of part 2. So talking about visiting different places around the world, cities and nature in this case. That will be part 3. And of course, General IELTS is the other website for General IELTS students. We separate the two into 2 websites. It makes a lot of sense to us. Different purposes, different reading and writing sections. So we have aehelp.com for academic IELTS students, which looks like this. Okay, and you can join our premium IELTS package by clicking the big red button that's just right behind my head right there. It's a 1 click and you fill it out and you are good. It's 1 payment. It's not a subscription model. We don't want to charge you every month. We give you 1 charge. That's it. Then you're good. Same thing with General IELTS. It's gieltshelp.com. Looks like that. Again, you just click that big red button that's right there. 1 click. And we are an IDP affiliate. We are a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. we're leaders in the IELTS education industry, absolutely, and we really enjoy helping all of you just improve your English, your communication. That's really what we love to do. So let's do that. You can use the code Genuine9 on the website for an extra 10% discount. You can get our apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. You can link those apps to their respective websites, the Academic and the General. You can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram is recently, it's been booming. IELTS_AE Help. We're up to 40,000 followers on that one. And then gieltshelp.com. And if you have any questions about IELTS, about English, you're encouraged to send an email, adrian@aehelp.com, admin@aehelp.com. Send an email and we will answer you. Okay. If you like to study from paper books, I kind of recommend avoiding that, save the environment. But if you really like paper books for learning, you can get our books from Amazon. You can get them in digital format too, which is the good news. AE Helps Academic IELTS and GE Helps General IELTS. Okay. So right now we've got Speaking Part 2, Speaking Part 3 after this class in a little bit. Then we've got no class from Sunday to Wednesday as usual. And then we have class on Thursday starting with Speaking Part 1. And then we'll have Reading for members. We'll have Listening Parts 3 and 4 for subscribers. That's continuing from the listening that we did yesterday. And then we'll have Speaking Part 2 and Speaking Part 3 next Saturday like we're having right now. We're releasing a really good video. We released this one in the last few days. This was a speaking video, and this week we're going to be releasing an important Task 1 video for you. So make sure you check that out when we release it in the next couple of days here. All right, so back to the card. Let's do this, everybody. Here we go. Let's get this card underway. Talk about a place you would like to visit. Romelia. I think this topic is right up your alley, right? Because Romelia really likes to travel, right, Romelia? So here's a nice idiom for you. I just sometimes throw in vocabulary and idioms as they come naturally. You should really practice vocabulary and idioms naturally, right? So this is right up your alley. The idiom here is right up your alley. Okay. Right up your alley means it is particularly connected or related to you. Romelia says, yes, it's a hidden gem, not jam, gem. Hidden gem. Gem, Romelia, G-E-M, not J-A-M, G-E-M. Jam, gem. All right, so this is right up your alley. It's of particular interest to you. Okay, yeah, if you're a person who likes to travel, you have the travel bug, you like to go visit places, this is a cue card that's fit for you. All right, again, let's go over this. So the examiner once again says you have 1 minute to prepare, to think about what you are going to say. You can take notes if you wish. Talk about a place you would like to visit. What the place is, who you would go there with and why, what happens in this place, why is this place of special interest to you. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. All right, students, so your 1 minute preparation time begins with a very structured, strategic step, okay? And absolutely, it's a step-by-step here, everyone. So you need to have, you know, a very strategic step 1, step 2, step 3 kind of approach to answering this card. Step 1 is you read the question carefully, which we already just did, okay? And you can read it twice if you must, just to make sure you have a really good idea, okay? Keep in mind, everyone, you must answer all the questions on the card to get full marks. Okay, it's very important. They're looking for that kind of task completion. Step 2 is to identify the category and the tenses. So when we're talking about category, I mean, like, there's basically 5 different possible domains of thought, of ideas. It could be a person, a place, an object, an idea, or an event. And in this case, of course, many of you realize that it's the place, and Chayani says you're talking about the future here because it's a place you would like to go to, right? What other form of grammar do you think will be common in this response? So you're right, the category is a place. You're mostly talking about a place here. Kind of an event as well, because this is a trip that you're going to take, right? So it's mostly a place. It's kind of an event. And the tenses in this case, you're right, would be future. So you're talking a lot about the future in this case. I will go to, I'm going to go to, I plan to go to, right? And Fuang, very good. Yes, so Fuang says the conditional. Absolutely. When I have saved up about $5,000, I will take my trip to Disneyland. Right? So conditionals. If I have a few weeks for vacation, I will go to the Caribbean. So conditionals. Yes, definitely. Okay. Now here, when we're talking about an event, okay. So when we talk about an event, just remind me, members, what kind of information should we include and in what order to really make sense of what we're saying and to be clear for the audience. So what are the inclusions? Okay, Chani says the description. Yeah, so what does the place look like? A lot of times people forget to tell what it looks like. So I want to go to Hawaii because it's such a beautiful place. There are so many activities that I can do there. I would go with some of my good friends because I'm sure we would just have a great time being there together for a couple of weeks. Okay, great. Describe Hawaii, right? It has beautiful beaches with crystal blue water, nice white to yellow colored sand. It's just gorgeous to look at, soft on the feet. The islands are filled with lush green palm tree forests. The palm trees reach high into the sky, 20, 30 meters. And there are incredible flowers, just colorful, green, purple, yellow, orange. And I would love to see this natural beauty with my friends for a couple of weeks and experience all the fun and pleasure the islands have to offer. It's immediately, you see Hawaii. There's Hawaii. Look at it. It's great. It looks great. Okay, so description. Yes, start with description. Okay, very good. Describe the place. Describe the location, the time that you want to go there because it's a bit of an event, right? Okay, the attendees, the activities, the experience. Yes, so, and you realize too that when you're talking about a location and an event, they're kind of similar. They kind of have overlaps, like with the attendees and the activities. So description, location, time, attendees, activities. Okay, and then yes, of course, your experience. as long as you remember to include a couple of sentences, well spoken, well connected, for each of these points, more or less in this order, while keeping in mind the cue card, you are going to do fantastic. So keep that in mind. So as long as you provide a couple of well-connected sentences for each of these ideas, or each of these points, I'll say, while keeping in mind the cue card questions, you will, I'm going to emphasize that, you will do great. And you really will. Okay. So that's it in a nutshell, everybody. We have, 132 beautiful people viewing right now. You've got it. That's what you got to do. You can all go now. No, I'm kidding. But we're going to practice this. And that's what you want to do. Okay. In a nutshell, that's what you want to do when you're talking about, sorry, I should say a location or a place and kind of an event. Hope I didn't confuse people there, because we're talking about a place that you want to visit, right? So description, location, time, attendees, activities. So it's kind of this blend of a location and an event. Okay. All right. Great. Step 3, very important step. Step 3 is a step that will help you with not only your answer, but will also help you with part 3. And it will help with part 3. Why does it help with part 3? Well, Lydia says this step is think about 2 to 3 good ideas. Yes, think of 2 to 3 good answers. Okay, they should be original. They should be easy to talk about and lots of content. Okay, I want to go to the park near my home. It's a nice park. There are lots of benches. Maybe not a lot of content there. I want to go to Disneyland. Don't we all? It's not really original, right? I want to go visit the rings of Saturn on a spaceship. Maybe not too easy to talk about, right? So, original, easy to talk about, lots of content. That's your direction. Hawaii, yeah, kind of fun. Maybe not the most original either. Okay, but thinking of a few good ideas, right? Because part 3, like the first question might be, what are some popular places where people want to go? Oh, yeah, a lot of people would love to visit Hawaii and Disneyland. Okay, why do I know? Why can I answer so quickly? Because I thought about them in part 2. Okay. All right, Vikash, welcome to our group of members. I saw that you took some memberships with the videos, requests, and exams. Make sure to send an email to us so we can get you those videos and those practice tests so that you can follow with the classes a bit better. Okay, so members, think about those topics. Where would you like to visit? Give me those topics. We'll look at one today. Vikash, for your membership perks, send us an email, please. Here's the email: adrian@aehelp.com, admin@aehelp.com. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Lydia, I don't know that place, but it sounds like you do, and you've probably got some good ideas around why you want to visit that. So Lydia says Abrahamic family house in Abu Dhabi. Okay. Constellation says the Dolomites Mountains. Kauai, Hawaii. I've been there. I've seen the Napoli coast. It's quite beautiful. Okay. All right, Anonymous, if you mailed us, you should get your perks. If you haven't gotten them, send a reminder, but do give us like 48 hours, okay? Oana says Paris, France. Maybe not the most original, Oana, but sure, it doesn't have to be super original. Anonymous says Universal Studios Singapore. Absolutely. I was in Japan when the Japan Universal Studios got built. Universal Studios Singapore. Okay, Habibe says Cotton Castle in Turkey. So many amazing places in the world, right? Marina Bay, Singapore, Chayani. Sounds like Singapore's got quite a few amazing places. I've never been there, but maybe one day. Singapore. Okay. Good, we've got some good ideas there. All right. Vikash says Taj Mahal, India. Okay, Vikash, I would definitely not use Taj Mahal, India, especially if you're doing the exam in India. Way too popular. Okay, avoid popular answers. So avoid popular answers like Taj Mahal, India, in India especially. Why? Well, because first of all, you're competing with all of the other students who talk about it that day, right? So Vikash, even if you have good English, if you have a band 8, band 9 student go into the exam before you and deliver like an incredible presentation on the Taj Mahal, it will be really hard for the examiner not to compare you to that guy or that girl. So I would recommend avoiding it. Plus, you know, they'll be like, oh, I expect you to give me a really good speech about this one. The other point is the examiner might think that, you know, you rehearse talking about the Taj Mahal and you talk about it like for just about any location topic that comes up. Does that make sense, Vikash? Does that make sense, everybody? So like in India, if I were to take the IELTS exam and this question came up, I would avoid talking about the Taj Mahal. It would be too generic. It could come across as rehearsed, and it could put me in a difficult situation where the examiner can't help but compare me with several other students talking about the Taj Mahal that day. Okay, Vikash, so you'd have to choose some other place, ideally out of India. So a place that's maybe not in India that you can talk a little bit about. Okay. Romalia, it can be a special, yeah, so the choice here is really important, right? So Romalia is asking, can it be a place which has a special meaning for me? It can be, but here's an interesting thought to consider, okay? So here we go, okay? So Romalia, that's a very good question. Romalia says, can it be a unique place that has a special meaning for me? Yes, it can be. It doesn't have to be a famous, well-known place, okay? The simple answer is yes. It does not have to be a famous, well-known place. Okay, but keep in mind, what do you think is the extra challenge or the extra difficulty if you talk about a unique place that the examiner is not familiar with? What do you think? Anybody? So if you talk about like your local park or a unique little museum that's down the street from where you live, or a beach, a remote beach that's located on a small island that you saw in a movie, what is the extra level of kind of challenge or difficulty if that's what you choose, right? Like if I talk about Tofino Beach, Long Beach on North Vancouver Island, many of you probably aren't familiar with it, even though it's fairly famous, but you're not familiar with it. What's the extra challenge? So Fuang says they are excited to listen about the new place, the new idea. That's probably true, Fuang. Yeah, I'm sure they will be. They'll be like, ooh, I'm going to learn some new information. What's the extra challenge? Yeah, so Romelia says, I want to talk about Seattle, right? So the rainy city. Yep. Okay, of course I know lots about it because it's our neighboring city. Seattle, rainy city. Sure, we could even put it there, Romelia, and you can talk about it. So in my case, it would be good, Romelia, because I know lots about Seattle. I'm sure it's raining there right now. It's raining for us right here, right now. All right. So just keep in mind, students, that if you talk about a really unique idea that your examiner doesn't really have information about, it's extra difficult to make it coherent, okay? But this greatly increases the coherence challenge, meaning that the examiner does not have reference, so you need to be extra efficient or effective at describing the place. Okay, so here a hint, Romelia. Let's say you're talking about Seattle, right? So you'd have to, for example, say like Seattle, also known as the rainy city, is located in the state of Washington in the northwest coast of the United States. It is surrounded by inlets and has a population of about 1.5 million people, I think. The city has some flat areas, but it is surrounded by hills and mountains, namely the Olympic Mountains to the north. Okay, so this is just giving you an idea here, Romelia. You know, if you're going to talk about Seattle, you need to really be specific if your examiner has no idea about it. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's pick a topic here, everybody. Let's get into it. We'll do a sample kind of response, Band 9 response, using the cue card. Now, I got this one here, the Universal Studios Singapore. Okay, I don't know much about the Universal Studios in Singapore because I've never been there. So I'm going to pick one that's kind of close, and I think a lot of people have some good ideas about Universal Studios, and it's kind of a fun one because it's not really Disneyland, so it's not like the super popular topic, but it is well known. So I'm going to go with Universal Studios, you guessed it, Orlando, Florida. Okay, so of course the other very, very famous park that's in Orlando, Florida is Disney World. Now, I've been to Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, and it's okay to talk about a place that you have been to and talk about it as if that's where you want to go. Okay, it is a good trick to talk about a place that you have actually visited. As if you have not and you plan to go there. Because you have lots of information on it from your experience, right? It's a pretty neat little trick or a pretty neat little tip, right? Like you don't think about a place you've never been to. For example, if you've never been to Seattle, you might not want to talk about it. However, Romelia, in your case, because you're watching a TV series that takes place in Seattle and there's a lot of content there, it could be good. Okay? All right? Romelia, if the examiner notices your U.S. visa on your passport, that's totally fine. U.S. is a big place. There are lots and lots of places that I have not been to in the U.S. For sure. So just because of that, unless you have like a stamp that says Seattle Space Needle on your passport, but I'm just kidding. All right, Domenico, I hope you're having a great day at the beach, and welcome to the class. All right, so let's talk about Universal Studios, Florida. Okay, you can talk about this as Universal Studios Singapore or Universal Studios Osaka, Japan. It doesn't matter. They're all kind of the same. So let's talk about it, okay? All right, so first we go to step 4, which is the useful notes, right? So a little bit about the description, okay? Now, useful notes, location, right? So where this place is located, all right? East Coast, US, right? Okay. I would say it's probably like, I don't know, 1,000 hectares. It's pretty big. All right. Hectares with an E. Okay. 1,000 hectares. Okay. And the appearance. Okay, I didn't write down Orlando, Florida, because I know that. I'm not going to write down notes that are in my head. So, of course, I'm going to say it's located in Orlando, Florida. So I don't need to put that down because that doesn't really give me any extra help when I'm talking. But talking about the 1,000 hectares will give me a bit of help to describe the size of this location, right? So that almost kind of goes into the appearance, okay? 100 different amusement rides. Okay. Famous movies. Okay. Terminator, Spider-Man. So I'm going to just list a couple so I know that I have to give some specific examples. Lots of restaurants, right, where we can find food. Okay. Hotels for sleeping. Okay. All right. So for now, everybody, think about the topic that you want to talk about. So when we do the volunteering, and you get a chance, you can talk about it and also work with me here. Okay. All right. Good. So that's the appearance, and then attendees. Universal Studios is mostly teenagers and adults, okay? If you've been to Universal Studios, most of the amusement rides are a little bit intense for smaller children. That's why smaller children like to go to Disney World in Orlando. Universal Studios a little bit more for the older children and for adults, and not so much for elderly either, I would say. So teenagers and adults. International for sure. People from all over the world will go there. Okay. And here I'm thinking about the cue card question. The cue card is who would you go there with and why? Now it depends on your age and who you are, but most or many of you would probably want to go there with your friends. Okay. Family, it depends. If you have older parents or if you have little siblings, probably not so much. I would recommend Disney World in that case. Okay. So international friends. Yeah, somebody's saying shows. There are lots of shows. Yeah, absolutely. So when you remember a good idea, put it in. right? So this is the attendees. All right. This is the appearance, the first one. Okay. And then the next is the activities. So what you're going to do. All right. Okay, so the activities, obviously you're going to go on these amusement rides from morning until the park closes. So you don't need to say go on rides. Okay. You need to think about activities that don't necessarily come to your mind immediately, like taking pictures, selfies, right? Of course, you're going to do tons of selfies when you're at Universal Studios, right? To share with your friends, to put on your social profiles, and so on. So think about activities that don't easily come to mind. Okay, so selfies. Maybe you'll buy some souvenirs of your favorite movies. Okay. To take away, to remind you of your experiences. Okay, so again, when you're thinking about your notes in the 1 minute, they should be notes that help you to give more information, to give more detail, and to avoid repetition or getting stuck. Okay, so photos, selfies, souvenirs, you're going to get scared, you're going to scream. Okay, all right. Experience will be a lifetime memory, right? Shared with friends. Okay. Now, as your next step, step 5, you get your first sentence ready. I know you know because we've talked about it so much, okay? So think about your first sentence that answers the part 2 cue card question directly. Okay? So in this case, it's a place you would like to visit. Okay? So my first sentence is, one day in the near future, I would love to visit Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida for 4 days and 3 nights with 3 of my best friends from high school, Corey, Dwayne, and James. All right. There you go. See, you can say a lot in a very short amount of time there. So that's my first sentence. Okay, get your first sentence ready. Give me your first sentences, everybody. So how would you form your first sentence? And you can give me your first sentence for your topic that you chose as well. So Romelia, you can give me a sentence about Seattle, or Lydia, you can give me a sentence about visiting the famous house in Abu Dhabi. So give me your first sentence. Let's see it. How would you start your response to this? Okay. Again, everybody who's watching, this first sentence is super important so that when the examiner says your 1 minute preparation time is up, please begin speaking. Then you can start right away, not with hesitation, not like, thank you for, okay? And again, while members, you're thinking about your first sentence, I'm just going to tell a lot of our viewers, maybe some of our first-time viewers, a bad way to start, okay? Bad way to start. And some of you are going to go, oh, but my teacher said that's a good way to start. And I'm going to tell you, no, it's a bad way to start, okay? Because it's wasting time and you don't get any points. So bad way to start is, well, there are a plethora of places that I would like to visit, including the Taj Mahal, Niagara Falls, and the Himalayas, but the place that I would like to talk about today is Disneyland. Okay. This is a bad way to start. Your examiner is going to go, oh boy, somebody just memorized this and they're using a template from the internet. Band 6 if they keep speaking perfectly. If not, we're going to give them a band 5. Yeah, exactly, Fuang. So the examiner will be like, template answer, band 5, band 6. Okay. So that's a bad way to start. Okay. All right, this is Fuang's first sentence. Fuang says this should be a better sentence. An ideal destination that I would like to have a chance to visit is Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida for a 1-week holiday with my girlfriend, Sarah. That is perfect, Fuang. That's a great way to start. It's direct, it's specific. Okay. Anonymous says, that's another good way to start, Anonymous. So Anonymous says, next winter, I'm planning to visit Universal Studios in Singapore for 5 days with my childhood friends. Yeah, make sure you introduce them, who they are. Okay, Anonymous? It's a good way to start. Just make sure you give more information after. Okay, good. Lydia, nice. You're listening. You're doing fantastic. Lydia says, a place that I'm planning to visit in the next few months, probably on 15th of July, is Abra Hamek Family House for 2 days with my Emirati colleague, Khalud. Okay, Lydia, that's good. I like it. Okay. Domenico, chiming in from the beach. Good for you, Domenico. Domenico says, one place which I'm really craving to visit is the island of Guadalajara. It's located off the Pacific coast of Mexico and is renowned for its incredible diving opportunities and most notably its encounters with great white sharks. Okay, I see the rest of that. That island, just I've never been able to pronounce the name of it. Guadalajara. All right. Constellation says, before I turn 28, I would like to pay a brief visit to the Dolomite Mountains, which is in my point of view a true definition of Wonderland. It's Constellation, I agree with you. They're pretty incredible for sure. All right. Make sure you tell the examiner where it is and what it looks like, okay? All right. Let's see. Angel. Some good starts, by the way. All of these starts, notice how okay, so let me put it to you this way. Okay, this is going to be like, yes, I see. So Angel says, in the forthcoming years, given the chance, I would like to visit New York City, which is host of the most popular art and culture museums, and that is definitely my cup of tea. Okay, so just to make this super clear for everybody, okay? Imagine you're the examiner, okay? And this is exam day, and the question that you're showing pretty much to just about every student is this one. They usually tend to show one question. One cue card. So, they're hearing a lot of different answers, okay? Imagine you're the examiner, and when you hear, one student and the next one, and, you interview maybe like 15, 16 candidates in one day. And let's say one after the next, you're hearing like, well, there are many places I would like to visit, including Disneyland, Hawaii, and Costa Rica, but the place I would like to talk about today is Niagara Falls. And then the next student comes in, the next student is like, well, there are loads of places that I love to go check out, but the one that I would love to talk about today, oh, and I would like to visit this and this place is. And then the third student comes in and they're like, well, there are so many places that I would really enjoy visiting, such as Mexico, Sicily, Singapore, but the place I would like to talk about today is Seattle. Okay, imagine you're listening to that start over and over again versus you're listening to these kinds of starts. An ideal destination I would like to have a chance to visit is Universal Studios. Next winter, I'm planning to visit Universal Studios in Singapore. A place that I'm planning to visit in the next few months, probably on the 15th of July, is the Abrahamic family house. One place which I'm really craving to visit is the island of Guadalupe. It's located just off the Pacific coast of Mexico. Before I turn 28, I would love to pay. I'm sure that you're much more welcome to these kinds of starts, right? Because you're like, oh, they're starting, they're telling me the place, and they're going to tell me about it. Okay? Makes sense, right? Okay. All right. Let's go back to the one that I was talking about. I will type out a Band 9 sample answer for you, and then we will have a chance to discuss and listen to Part 2 responses by our members with some feedback and some band score estimates, okay? So now I'm speaking, I'm using my notes, okay? So here we go. One day in the near future, I would love to visit Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida for 4 days and 3 nights with 3 of my best friends from high school, Corey, Dwayne, and James. I am really into movies, and I love many of the action films that are featured in this amusement park, such as Spider-Man, Terminator, and Back to the Future. This incredible world-famous amusement park is situated on about 1,000 hectares of land and has a wide variety of hotels, restaurants, and other exciting places to visit for mostly teenagers and adults from around the world. When I get a week off from work and save up about $3,000, I will take this opportunity to have the experience of a lifetime with my friends to go and partake of the thrills and excitement that Universal Studios Orlando has to offer. Okay? All right. So here I want to take a look at the cue card. Okay? So I'm going along. I'm speaking for maybe 40 seconds or so. And then I stop for a few seconds. I look at the cue card. Okay, so what the place is, did I talk about it? Yes, I did. So that's good. Who would you go there with and why? I've kind of talked about this answer. I haven't really talked about the why maybe too much. What happens in this place? Yes, but I can always talk about that more. Okay. Why is this place of special interest to you? I did say that I'm into movies, so I've kind of talked about that, right? So I've more or less covered these questions already within the first 45 seconds to 1 minute, which is great. That's what you want to do. And then if I say, oh, okay, well, I've kind of answered all of these, what should I do now? Well, I should expand, right? So I look at my at my notes, and this is where my notes become very useful, especially if I took useful notes to avoid repetition, right? So photos, selfies, souvenirs, scared, screaming, lifetime memory, okay, topic with friends to talk about, okay, all of those. So I can do that, all right? Okay, while there, I would stay at one of the famous hotels and take lots of selfies with my friends in front of my favorite movie characters. I think it would be a blast to have a poster sized image of me in my room standing next to the Terminator. Okay. All right. So I'm using that to expand. Okay. Now, if I feel that I've finished my speech and I've covered all of the questions, I can say that. So given this amazing opportunity, I would definitely get on a 5-hour flight and visit Universal Studios. Okay? So it's like a concluding sentence here where I basically conclude what I'm saying, and then it signals to the examiner that I'm done and I've been speaking for about 90 seconds. Now, if they keep looking at me, I can continue speaking. I just need to keep looking at the card and keep talking, right? So I could reminisce about this experience with my friends Corey, James, and Dwayne for years to come, and I'm sure we would have lots of scary and exciting moments to talk about as we go on roller coaster rides and other special events. Okay, so you can keep expanding. All right. Okay, so students, there's your sample answer, and I'll just go through this, repeat sentences as I'm doing it, okay? So one day in the near future, I would love to visit Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida for 4 days and 3 nights with 3 of my best friends from high school, Corey, Dwayne, and James. I am really into movies, and I love many of the action films that are featured in this amusement park, such as Spider-Man, Terminator, and Back to the Future. This incredible world-famous amusement park is situated on about 1,000 hectares of land and has a wide variety of hotels, restaurants, and other exciting places to visit, mostly for teenagers and adults from around the world. When I get a week off from work and save up about $3,000, because it's expensive, I will take this opportunity to have the experience of a lifetime with my friends, to go and partake of the thrills and excitement that Universal Studios Orlando has to offer. While there, I would stay at one of the famous hotels and take lots of selfies with my friends in front of my favorite movie characters. I think it would be a blast to have a poster-sized image of me in my room standing next to the Terminator. So, given this amazing opportunity, I would definitely get on a 5-hour flight and visit Universal Studios. I could reminisce about this experience with my friends, Corey, James, and Dwayne, for years to come, and I'm sure we would have lots of scary and exciting moments to talk about as we go on roller coaster rides and other special events. Okay, so the time is up. Let's go on to part 3. Now, before we do that, that will be next class, part 3. I want to give you all a chance, as many of you as possible, to give your own version here. Okay, so hopefully you have been preparing. And now I will get you to volunteer for some speaking. Okay, you do this on the website at aehelp.com. So go to the website, log in. If you don't have an account, create an account. This is the website here, aehelp.com. We will use this one here. Log in. You can, again, get access to the premium version by clicking this big red button that's just up above behind my head there. And then you're in your My Student account, and here you will click on this Student Partner Speaking button, this one right here. Okay. And once you've clicked on that button, we will be able to interact. Make sure your microphone is working. Members, this is a members chat class, so channel members and website members, premium students, will have first priority here, but everybody is welcome to volunteer. So here we have a list of people. We have Shok Jahan, we have Manisha, and you'll see me. We have Rajveer. You'll see me in here as well. You're going to see me in here as Master. It's easy to recognize, all capital letters. And then just send me a message. Say, I want to volunteer, or I would like to try. Okay. All right, let's try Lydia. I would really love to hear what this special place in Abu Dhabi is. So let's try Lydia here. Okay. All right. Lydia, are you ready? Perfect.
Hello, Mr. Adrian.
Hi, Lydia. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. What about you?
I'm doing quite well also. I had great sleep last night, so I'm full of energy. All right. Lydia,
Yes, Mr.
sounds like you've got an interesting topic for us for this cue card, so I'm excited to hear about it. And I'm going to start you off. You are in the UAE right now, is that correct?
Yes, right.
Okay. It's quite an amazing place from what I hear.
It is actually, it was opened last year.
Oh, so it's new. Okay. All right. Well, I will start you off. Give me a nice full 1 to 2 minute response, and then I will give you some feedback. Okay. So
Yes, sure, Mr.
you'll see the cue card here in a moment on your screen, and I will start you just like the real IELTS. So that is the end of part 1. We will now begin part 2. For this part, I will show you some questions. You will have 1 minute to read these questions. Think about your answers. You can take notes in the 1 minute preparation time if you wish, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. Do you understand?
Yes, Mr. Adrian, everything's clear.
Okay, talk about a place you would like to visit. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Movie magic. We're not going to wait 1 minute for you, Lydia, because you had time. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
A place that I'm planning to visit in the next few months, probably on 15th of July, is Abrahamic Family House. It is located in the United Arab Emirates, particularly in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. It is a spectacular place for praying, and it includes three cubic houses of worship: Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Each house of worship has a different orientation, and also the site includes a cultural center that promotes the values of mutual respect and peaceful coexistence. If I had the chance to visit Ibrahimic family house, I would go with my Emirati colleague. Her name is Khulud because she is majoring in political science, and also she is desirable to conduct a scientific research titled A Visible Landmark of Understanding Faith and Human Coexistence. While watching some videos on YouTube, I observed there were tourists from various ethnicities that came from outside to visit this magnificent place, and also some classes for youngsters to learn about the importance of values and beliefs of every religion. This place has a special meaning to me because my mom instilled in me the crucial role of tolerance and its impact on societies by living in tranquility with Christians and Jews.
All right, your time is up. I'm going to stop you there, and I'll take back the questions, and we will now continue with part 3. For this part, I will ask you some questions related to the topic of part 2. Okay, well, Lydia, good news here is if there were such a score as a band 10, we could give that to you at this point. It literally sounds like you read the Wikipedia page on this place.
Actually, I talked like I just read some information about the structure of the three houses of worship. So how do they look like?
That's incredible. It sounds like an amazing place, and it's very, how should I say this, almost
And actually, Mr.
neo-modern.
Adrian, it is located next to the Louvre Museum in Abu
Okay.
Dhabi.
Okay, cool. All right. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I mean, you did a fantastic job from start to finish. And you stumbled on one word there, pronouncing one word, but you know what? It doesn't matter. That wouldn't count at all. So the examiners are always looking at the overall performance. They're not looking at one particular word if your tongue is kind of stuck pronouncing that word. So that would be a band 9. No question about it. One kind of awkward, if I want to be like, really picky, one kind of awkward content at the very beginning. You said a place that I'm planning to visit in the next few months, probably in July 15th. If you have a specific date like July 15th, it's a little bit weird to hear you say that you're planning to visit in the next few months. I would just say July 15th. So I would say that a place that I'm planning to visit on July 15th is.
Okay. Okay, Mr.
Do
Adrian.
you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
strange to, it sounds like you already have a plan, you have the day, and then you're kind of telling me that it's in the next few months. It's like, why, what's the issue is the question in my head. But that's just me being super picky. That wouldn't, again, affect your mark. So your grammar, your fluency, the details, your reason for why you would pick Khulud, because she's doing a research on different religions. I mean, that was just incredible. So overall, that, if when you're giving that kind of a response to a cue card, there's no question at all that you're going to get a perfect score. So there's just a lot of really good features going on with vocabulary, grammatical range, fluency, accuracy. You're answering all the questions on the card. So really, really good, Lydia.
Thank you so much, Mister. I really appreciate your support because, like, if I want to ask someone how to, for example, improve myself in speaking or in different sections of the IELTS exam, no one will give me those highly recommended advice like you, Mr. Adrian. So that's why every day I check all the videos, even those classes that I miss. I go back to check like the videos, the strategies that I must apply. So that's why I really recommend all the members and those who are watching us to take a look and follow all the strategies that you apply, Mr. Adrian. It is highly recommended.
Thank you, Lydia. I'm flattered. Lydia, the So, of course, as you probably have realized, and you've heard me say as well before, when you're looking at the overall performance that you're delivering, especially with someone at your level of English and education, then those really high marks, so band 8, band 9, where you're getting the very good user of the English language or the expert user of the English language, it's a combination of English skills, meaning vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and communication skills, meaning coherence, complexity of communication, concise communication. So it's a combination of that language and communication aspect that gets you those marks. So that's what you want to focus on. So when you're looking for feedback, you want to look for feedback on those two elements. Okay?
Yes, Mr. Adrian.
Okay. All right, Lydia, thank you so much. Make sure you join for the part 3 class too, okay?
Yes, for sure, Mr. Adrian. See you.
Bye, Lydia.
Bye bye, Mr.
All right, that was Lydia. That was really good. Ah, wow. Okay, and what an interesting place in the UAE. Absolutely. All right, let's take somebody else. Okay, let's take maybe Aryan has been watching and is a premium student. Let's give Aryan a chance. I'm not sure if we've ever spoken to Aryan. Aryan, are you there? And then we'll circle back to a member, maybe Habibi. All right. Hi, Aryan.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
I am going great, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Aryan, is this the first time we're speaking?
Yes, this is second time, I would say.
This is the second time. All right. I thought we might have spoken before once. So
Yes.
All
We
right.
spoke one time.
That's great. It's great that you're back. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right. Aryan, where are you right now, just out of curiosity?
So I am in India right now. I was born here only, so I haven't moved any place yet.
Okay. All right. Aryan, I will start you off for this cue card. Give me a nice full sentence answer, then I will give you some feedback, okay?
Okay, sir, great.
All right, here we go. So that is the end of part 1. We will now begin part 2. Talk about a place you would like to visit. Your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
So I thought of going to Spain with three of my good friends. Their name is Rahul, Sobono, and Aitya, specifically. They are my middle school friends. Like I really dreamt of going to Spain with them because as Spain is a completely charismatic place, and it is full of vibrant nightlife. The festival over there are just so insane. I just want to go there, enjoy my life. So I thought of going there by the next year, as I am not yet, like my parents won't allow me to go there, as I am not so old enough yet, and I guess I am not so enough, like I am not responsible enough yet, and so I thought of going by next year, collecting some money around $2,000 to $3,000. That would be a good pocket for me. I thought of going there, enjoying my 3 days vacation there with my friends, going enjoying some good festivals. Especially, I thought of taking, I would say, like paragliding. The paragliding there is quite amazing over there. The paragliding, even after that, I would say the bull festival, which is quite dangerous, but I would say that's once in lifetime experience. I would say I would like to enjoy that as well with my friends. That would be so crazy if I do. And after that, the cuisines over there, the cultural life, the historic things there. I would just like to go there, enjoy there, have some good times with them. So
Okay.
that's the place I would go to.
Okay, your time is up. I will stop you there. And
Thank you so much, sir.
we will now continue with part 3. All right, that was good. That was solid. That was solid. Aryan, that was quite
Thank you
good.
so much.
I really liked your very clear, direct start. You said,
Okay,
so
sir.
I thought of going to Spain with 3 of my good friends, Rahul and Anne, so it was good. It was really good that you gave me their names, right? You made it personal. You made it original. I really dreamt. Use the present perfect. I have dreamt of going to
Okay,
Spain
sir.
with them for a few years. I have dreamt of going to Spain with them for a few years since I saw a documentary about the Spanish nightlife.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so just repeat after me. I have dreamt of going to Spain with them since I
That
saw a documentary about the Spanish nightlife.
I have dreamt to going to Spain with them for a few years since I saw a documentary about the Spanish nightlife.
Okay, and you said it's a vibrant, charismatic place with a nightlife. One way that you can improve, so your band score would be really good. You would probably get like a band score 7.75. You're definitely in the good to very good range of English. Okay, it was very clear. You gave me lots of information. I think one quick way that you could improve your score is just to give more detail, right? So when I think of Spain, the nightlife, Ibiza immediately comes to mind, right? Partying until like 8 o'clock the
Late
next
night.
day, right? So those details. So going to a party at noon and partying until 8
The
a.m. the
beaches
next
over
day.
there.
Yeah, talk about the Spanish Riviera, for example, the beautiful sand, the nice ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, right? So a little bit more of that detail could get you a little bit higher scores. Also, some of your word choice is just slightly off. Like you said, collecting some money. It's okay to say collecting some money, like around 2 to 3 grand, but more accurate, what's the better verb than collecting money? It's
Saving money.
exactly, right? So it's just that kind of slight slip that will stop you from a band 8. So to get a band 8, you have to have like the right verb every single time, okay? And instead of jumping from idea to idea, so when we kind of panic and we're not sure what we're going to say, then we tend to jump from one idea to the next idea. Stay with one idea. So you said, especially I thought about going paragliding. Have you done paragliding before in India?
Yes, I've done it once.
Okay, that's what you.
Recently, that too.
Yeah, so you want to say that. So I recently did some paragliding here in India. It was amazing. I thought seeing the world from the sky
Above the
is
sky.
incredible. And I think doing paragliding in Spain would be absolutely thrilling to see the Spanish mountains or the coast paragliding, right? So you stay with that idea. Does that make sense?
Okay, yes, sir. Exactly.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, sir.
Okay, so because I can guess that, right? Like when you're saying paragliding, I'm like, oh, why is he saying that? For instance, when you said you're too young, your parents won't let you go yet, right?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, so you want to wait till you hit 20, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, so you want to tell me that, right? So currently I'm 19. It's not quite old enough to do this trip. I believe once I'm 20, it will be more enjoyable. I could enjoy the nightlife, the pubs a little bit more, and my parents would be a little bit more comfortable that I'm mature and responsible, right? So you can tell me that information, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, but overall, Aryan, it was really good. So when you practice at home, what you should do is practice saying it again, and then the next time that you say the same answer, go into more detail with each of your points, okay?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for guiding me.
You're very welcome. Enjoy the premium course, Aryan. I hope you're using it every day.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. Thank
Okay,
you so much, sir.
you're welcome. Bye,
Have a great
Aryan.
day. Thank you, sir. Bye.
All right, that was Aryan. Very good. Let's give him a thumbs up. Yeah, and thumbs up to Lydia as well. I forgot to say, but I think our members are quite good at that. So that's awesome. Okay, I said Habibi, so let's give Habibi a chance. If I recall, Habibi hasn't really had much of a chance here. So Habibi, one of our YouTube members, let's give Habibi a shot. Habibi, are you ready? Okay, really good by Aryan, really good. So Spain, try to be specific too. So if you're going to go to a place like Spain, it's a country, right? There's a lot to do there. Where are you going to go? Madrid, right? So name the places where you might go. All right, the cities. Habibi. Habibi, I'm not sure what's going on. I can't hear you. You have to check your mic. You have to check your system there. Habibi. Still no dice. Habibi, I have a feeling it's your IP. You're saying you might connect. Okay, well, if your connection is not good, that could be an issue as well. So you got to have a good connection, Wi-Fi for sure, LAN if you have it, and especially if you're using YouTube at the same time, right? And also, you might need to try a VPN, Habibi. So try that, okay? All right. Okay, let's try somebody else. Romelia, we don't see you in here. I think everybody's wondering what's going on. You have the travel bug. We'd love to have you give it a go. Okay. Angel, I don't see you in here. All right. Let's give Fuang a chance. Fuang, are you ready? Fuang, our longtime YouTube member, studying, learning every day. If you're there, Fuang. I know it's a few second delay here. Hi, Fuang.
Sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic today. How about you, sir?
Good. Fuang, try this word with me. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Fan.
Fan.
Tas.
Tas.
Fantas.
Fantastic.
Tick.
Tick.
Fantastic.
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 Nice. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, sir.
Perfect, Fuang. You got it. Okay, I want you to say it like that next time, all right? I've been meaning to correct you on that several times, and I'm taking the chance now. So, fantastic. It's one we trip up on. I hear native speakers trip up on that word, too. Fantastic. It's all those T's. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Fantastic. Okay, Fuang, I'm going to start you off, and I want to hear where you would like to visit. Are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
All right, here we go. So, talk about a place you would like to visit. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
An ideal destination that I would like to have a chance to visit is Fenghuang Asian Town in China for 2-week holiday with my mother. Fenghuang Asian Town is located in the western boundaries of Hunan province, in an area of outstanding natural beauty, where surrounded by hills, mountains, crystal clear green water, and blue sky rivers. This place is not only filled with natural beauty, but it also impressed me by its air of mystery and elegance. With a history spanning 1,300 years, Fenghuang Town has a number of remarkable old gardens, as well distinctive rectangular buildings, elegant bridge and mystery tower, like the iconic Tuchan River, the stunning Tianguan Temple, and the spectacular Chaoyan Palace. The most important activity that I would do if I had a chance there is definitely go sightseeing on a boat from the northwest to the south of Tuchan River when the town lights up at night, and it feels like I'm immersed and lost in the traditional Chinese painting. The reason why I love Fenghorn Asian Town unconditionally is because my parents first met here and since my mother was a university student, as well as its stunning historical landmarks surrounded by breathtaking landscape like traditional Chinese poem. In a nutshell, Fenghorn Asian Town is listed as one of the most aesthetic attractions in China. If money doesn't matter, I'd love to visit it in one day.
All right, I will stop you there. Your time is up. And we will now go on to part 3. Okay, Fuang, that was incredible. That was amazing. I felt one part was a little bit missing. I'm not sure if you said it or not. Who would you go there with?
Well, I want to go there with my parents, sir, because They first met in Fenghuang in China.
Yeah, so I heard that that's why you wanted to go there. I wasn't sure that that's who you wanted to go with. So I was trying to type, and I'm not sure if I caught every idea that you said. You were quite fluent. Your fluency was definitely at the band 8, band 9 level. You were quite fluent. Again, your pronunciation still a little bit here and there, but it's getting better and better. It's always improving, and it's improving through practice, like what we did at the beginning there. Pronunciation is at around 6-ish, okay? So you want to keep working on it. Your vocabulary, easily a band 8 to 9, okay? It's quite high. You're using really nice descriptive language like outstanding natural beauty, for example, you said history spanning 1,000 years. That was really good English. History spans a certain amount of time, so it's a great use of the word spanning. Okay, history spanning 1,000 years. A lot of good information. Is it a true story? Did your parents really meet there?
Yes, sir. Because my mother, she know Chinese, so she go to China for traveling at least 1 to 3 times a year.
What a romantic story your parents have. That's great. And I really liked how you use this figurative language. It's called figurative language. People who are high-level communicators in any language, and that's native or non-native, they use good figurative language. Figurative language, again, if you don't know what this means, look it up, Google it. I don't have time to go into that too much, but it's basically a way to paint with words. So figurative language. And you can also look at language devices. So you use some really nice figurative language here, and I really enjoyed that. You said, I would feel I am immersed and lost in a traditional Chinese painting. Do you know what type of figurative language that is? What we would call that in literature? I am lost in a traditional Chinese painting.
Lost in traditional China.
You said it. I just wrote it.
I know this word in Vietnamese, but I don't know how to explain it in English, sir.
It would be a metaphor. Okay, so we would consider that a metaphor in figurative language. Or some language teachers might disagree with me and call it an illusion. Like that as well. But anyway, it's definitely figurative language, and it's nice figurative language. I literally visualized you in a Chinese painting, and that gave me excellent imagery of this place, so of the history of this place, because most of us are quite familiar with what traditional Chinese paintings look like. And I visualized you on this traditional Chinese sailboat sailing this river. So the Tu-Chan River, I believe you said. So that was great. Phuong, really good. Keep practicing, keep working on pronunciation, regular pronunciation practice every single day for half an hour to an hour, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for having me. Have a nice day, sir.
You too. Bye, Phuong.
Bye, bye, sir.
All right, that was really good. What a romantic story from Phuong, right? About the way her parents met in China in this ancient and beautiful place. That was really great. Thumbs up, Phuong. That was really good. Okay, let's take somebody else here. Still looking for members if they're there. Okay. All right. Golda. Yes, Golda is volunteering, and Golda is a member. Golda, you just became a member. How can I not, right? All right, Golda's like, I just became a member. Exclusive videos. Golda, are you ready? All right. Sure. I think that's fair. Golda literally just joined. Golda, you are a member now, right? And send me an email so I can hook you up with those videos. Golda, if you're there, let me know. Hopefully we can make a connection. All right. Golda, are you there? It sounds like you picked up, but I don't hear your voice. Golda, you have to check your settings, okay? So make sure you enabled your microphone, your headset, make sure you have a good internet connection, make sure you're not using a dynamic IP that's maybe going through a place that's not really able to connect with audio video chat interface, right? There are some places where that's kind of tricky. So Golda, you're a member, you're on my radar. Check your settings. Try to reach out to some of your other fellow members or other people like Fuang or Constellation and see if you can connect with them. And if you can, that's a good sign. If you can't, it means it's some setting on your end, okay? And then you can ask for advice, and I'll look for you in the classes. So in the upcoming part 3 class 2, okay, Golda? So thanks for joining. Try again, okay? All right. Constellation. Are you ready? Take one more. Constellation, if you're there, give us a sign. All right.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Constellation. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. Thanks for asking back. All right. English culture, right? It's so funny. We thank each other for asking. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. No, thank you for asking. All right, Constellation. Any exciting plans for the weekend?
Nope. Maybe cram up for the next exam.
Cram up for the next, not cram up, just cram for the next exam.
Yes.
Okay. If you say cram up, it sounds like you're saying cramp up, where you're like getting tense. It's a different expression. So just cramming for the next exam. Which exam is that?
An English exam.
Well, you're in the right place. You're doing it right now. All right. Is that just written, or do you also have an oral component to that exam?
Actually, I have a writing exam.
Mm-hmm.
It's business English.
Business English. Yes, business English?
Yeah.
Okay, so business English, and it's writing for the most part. All right. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. And it is. I mean, learning to write business English and doing it well is extremely rewarding in life, for sure. Did you know that approximately 95% of the money in the world changes hands using English?
No, I don't.
Isn't that crazy? So all of the other languages in the world share like 5 to 10% of money exchanged in the world. 90 to 95% is dominated by the English language, right? So all those contracts, all those emails, all in English. So think about that when you're preparing for that exam, okay?
Yep.
Makes sense. Makes you a lot more ambitious to want to write some good English, right? All right. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to start you off, and then I'll give you some feedback. Are you ready, Constellation?
Yep, I'm pretty ready.
Okay, all right. Talk about a place you would like to visit. Your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
So before I turn 28, I would like to visit the Dolomites Mountain, which, in my opinion, is a true definition of Wonderland. So I have been dreaming of visiting this place since I came across a YouTube video of Rick Star, a travel writer. So this mountains is located between 3 countries: Australia, Switzerland, and Italy. So I think that it has a very unique flavor. It has the landscape, and it also has a lot of engineering wonders. So I think that in the winter, like there will be a lot of mighty snowy summits, and in the summer there will be a lot of high altitude meadows, which is dotted with wildflowers. So I want to go there with my older sister, because she's an architect. So I think that she is very architecture conscious. So I think that when we get there, we will go sightseeing. We would watch the cathedral, and I think that the cathedral has like a fantastic throwback to the medieval age. And I also will enjoy the culture, like the culture of the indigenous. And I also want to enjoy the culinary as well. And I think that this is a very special place because it is a mix between three countries. So I think that after I get to this place, I will have a chance to experience a lot of cultures from Italian, Australian, and Switzerland, Swiss as well. Yeah, I think that I would like to pay a visit to this place.
All right, your time is up. I'll stop you there. And we'll go on to part 3. Okay, that was really good. Constellation, nice. Pronunciation, I think, is about a 7 to 7.5. Most of your words are quite clear. There are a couple of words that are a little bit off, but overall quite good. Coherence, I would say, is about 7 to 7.5. So I understand most of what you're saying. I do find that some of what you're saying is a little bit jumpy, so you're a little bit kind of moving from description to action, back to description, back to action. So you want to kind of stay a little bit more consistent with describing what the place looks like, who you want to go there with and why, the activities that you will be doing there together. You had fairly good structure. It wasn't bad. I think you would get about, for that, like a 7.5 for that response particularly. Okay, I think if you cleaned it up a little bit, you would get an 8.85, no problem. So the Dolomite Mountains, before you turn 28, let's slow it down a little bit. Why before you turn 28? Why did you say before I turn 28? It sounds like you're, to me, it seems like you're a little bit younger still than 28. May I ask how old you are right now?
I'm 21.
21. So you've got 7 years. Why 28? So that was immediately a question in my head, is why do you want to go there before you're 28?
Actually, recently, there is a chant on the social media that people will like finish a lot of bucket list before they turn 28. So this figure just comes up in my mind.
Okay, now that makes sense, right? So you would say something like, so before I turn 28, I would like to visit the Dolomite Mountains because it is on my bucket list and I want to do this before this number. Okay, so it has to be sensible, right? Like I have to understand why you're picking that very specific number, okay?
Yeah.
So can you try that, start with just one more time and include that information? So your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay, so before I turn 28, I would like to visit the Dolomites because I think that this would be a what I forgot. Can you
said
repeat
it's
again?
on your bucket list and you want to check off your bucket list before you turn 28. So one more time, your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Begin speaking.
Yes. So before I turn 28, I would like to visit the Dolomites. This is on the top of my bucket list. So I would like to finish it before I turn 28.
Perfect. Okay, good. Yeah, and that's good. And you use that vocabulary bucket list now, which is very nice high-level English, right? So, and it makes sense. And then you can lead in with, I have been dreaming of visiting this place since I came across a YouTube travel writer that talked a lot about it, and it was very interesting for me. Okay, so good. You said it also has a lot of engineering wonders. I was curious like what you meant by that. But again, your vocabulary when you are giving details is very, very nice. Like you said, because it has a fantastic throwback to the Middle Ages. That was some great English. Can you explain to all of our viewers what this word throwback means?
It's like kind of like a historical building which is built in that time. So when people look in this building, they will have feeling that they are in that, like the medieval age.
Exactly, right? Yes. It makes you feel like you travel back in time. So a throwback means it literally puts you back into that era, right? Throwback to means to place back into that time, situation, event. Yes, exactly. It's a really interesting. It's modern English, very modern English, probably from just the last 20 years of English. Throwback too. Yeah, very good. Okay, so overall quite good. I would comfortably give you a 7.5 for that. Okay, for that performance, and just work on details, structure, nice connections. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sir, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Sir, I wonder if we are not be able to finish our speech in the given time, 2 minutes. Will the examiner give us a minor point?
No. So it's a good question. What if I can't finish in 2 minutes? If you don't answer all the questions on the card in the 2 minutes, you might lose some points for not answering all of the cue card questions, yes. But if you've answered all the questions on the card and you're still talking and they kind of interrupt you, that's usually okay. So, I mean, coherence might suffer a little bit. It is good to kind of sense when the time is about to end. You can almost kind of see it on their face. Most examiners will give you kind of non-verbal, like physical signals that they're about to stop you. You'll kind of see their eyes go kind of a little bit weird, and they're looking at their watch maybe, or they're staring off for a second. Then you kind of get the sense of like, oh, they're gonna stop me here pretty quick. Like you start to feel that. So do try to finish, but as long as you answered all the questions on the card, you're okay. If you haven't, then yes, you will lose marks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good question. Bye, Constellation.
Bye-bye, sir. I will see you in the next class.
See you in the next class. Bye for now. All right, that was Constellation. Let's give Constellation a thumbs up. That was really good. Yeah, absolutely. Students, speak with each other. This is the speaking interface on the website. We're going to use it in the next class to speak to everybody. The next class is speaking part 3. This is the speaking interface here. Okay. And the website that you need to go to is aehelp.com here to sign up for the premium version of the course. And it's worth it. Of course, I'm always looking for premium students to join the chat. There you go. So click that big red button. It's just above my head. General IELTS students, it's gieltshelp.com. It's the same concept there. All right. And yeah, in less than, so like in 23 minutes, I will be back with speaking part 3. And that speaking part 3 will be a continuation of this topic. So we'll be talking about visiting certain places around the world, both natural and man-made, so cities. In the break time, stretch your legs, get some water, visit aehelp.com, visit gieltshelp.com. Thank you, everybody. See you shortly. I'm Adrian signing out from Victoria for now, and I'll be back in 20 minutes. Bye.